This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Hey, this weekend, Brittany Page and I will be speaking at the Triangle Free Thought Society in Raleigh, in a suburb of Raleigh, North Carolina. So if you're in the area and you'd like to see me run my mouth in person, that might be a good time. I think it's in Apex, North Carolina, between 3 and 4:30. Check it out. I'll put a link to the Facebook group event below, and love to see you there. Let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump and what's in store for America if he's reelected. The Republican Party and Donald Trump and those who surround Donald Trump, these sinister group of figures, are trying to remake America almost in kind of the image of a white ethno-state. They make claims in their battle against wokeness, which really is anything they don't like, but especially anything black that they don't like. That's woke. It's the same with a couple of years ago when everything was critical race theory, CRT. It's the exact same thing. They've just rebranded it to maybe dumb it down. Woke is a little bit more easy to understand than critical race theory, this graduate level teaching, this course that they teach like in law schools. So they dumbed it down for the MAGA base so they could communicate it. They never can define it. Even the people who are considered anti-woke experts never can define it. Like even just the other day, I saw a video on Twitter of that Chaya idiot, the libs of TikTok moron, being asked directly, what's woke? And she's like, anything that challenges normalcy. It's normalcy, but what are you going to do? And this headline from Axios really stood out to me as something that is fundamentally dangerous for America, because it is the resurgence, the reestablishment, although it's not reestablishment, it's just the doubling down on, how's that? The doubling down on white supremacy as the power structure in America. Here's the headline: anti-racism protections for white people. If you're white and you're so fragile that you believe that people are racist against you for being white, you need to reanalyze your life and way of thinking. You're not harmed by someone. It's not something that happens. Racism against white people in any way that can harm you. If someone calls you a racial name, what are they going to call you that is rooted in anything of any power that's going to hurt you? Cracker? Okay. Great. You're not wrong. And Donald Trump and his, again, group of sinister characters that surround him want to start solving a problem that doesn't exist. And that's not combating actual racism, actual oppression of traditionally marginalized groups, harmed groups that have been historically oppressed in this country. No, none of that. He wants white people are the ones who are really truly oppressed, and that's who they want to help. Here's the article. If Donald Trump returns to the White House, close allies want to dramatically change the government's interpretation of civil rights era laws to focus on quote unquote anti-white racism rather than discrimination against people of color. Trump's Justice Department would push to eliminate or upend programs in government and corporate America that are designed to counter racism that has favored whites, Axios' Alex Thompson reports. Targets would range from decades-old policies aimed at giving minorities economic opportunities to more recent programs that began in response to the pandemic and the killing of George Floyd. Axios, I hate to break it to you, but Derek Chauvin was convicted of murder. It was the murder of George Floyd. It was not the killing. Let's not sanitize this or whitewash it in service to white supremacy. Axios. The Trump campaign's Stephen Chung, spokesperson, told Axios, Joe Biden has continued to push unlawful civil rights abuses. As President Trump has said, all staff, offices, and initiatives connected to Biden's un-American policy will be immediately terminated. Longtime aides and allies preparing for a potential second Trump administration have been laying legal groundwork with a flurry of lawsuits and legal complaints, some of which have been successful. A central vehicle for the effort has been America First Legal, founded by former Trump aide Stephen Miller and Goblin, who sits atop a Gothic cathedral, who has called the group's, that was me, not the article, who has called the group conservatives' long-awaited answer to the ACLU. America First cited the Civil Rights Act of 1964 in a lawsuit against CBS for what it argued was discrimination against a white straight man who was a writer for the show SEAL Team in 2017. In February, a group filed a civil rights complaint against the NFL over its Rooney Rule, which requires teams to interview at least 2 minority candidates for vacant general manager, head coach, and coordinator positions. The Rooney Rule doesn't require their hiring. Stephen Miller's upset that they're even giving minority candidates an interview. He doesn't even want them interviewed. That's a civil rights abuse in the mind of the daft Stephen Miller. In 2021, Miller's group successfully sued to block implementation of a $29 billion pandemic-era program for women and minority-owned restaurants. You see, this is it. They want to refashion America. They want to double down on white supremacy. In the mind of MAGA world and Donald Trump's world and Steve Bannon's world and Stephen Miller's world, black people have had it too good for too long in America, riding on the coattails of whatever. It's just racism. It is white supremacy. These ideas used to be whispered about in white supremacy circles or talked about at their backyard shindigs, but never in legitimate political company. Never from a policy perspective of protecting whites against racism, because it doesn't exist. It's a lie. It's a conspiracy. It's nonsense. And this is what they're going to focus on if Donald Trump gets reelected. This are the agenda items, not making things better for Americans, not prosperity, not bolstering the middle class, not protecting minority groups, oppressed groups, endangered groups. No. They're looking out for me. They're looking out for middle class, white, straight individuals because we're the endangered species in America. Well, let me tell you, Trump administration, part duh, I don't need your fucking help. I don't need your protection. I'm fine, and so are the rest in my cohort. We're fine. Idiots. What do you think? I would love to know. We can talk about it in the comments. You can also call and leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, all the time. Regular old-fashioned emails are good too. daily@dollemore.com. If you want to help support this work, you want to help support this channel, click the join button below on this video on YouTube and look what's involved in becoming a channel member. For $2 a month, you can help support and produce this work. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. All those are great ways to support. Moreover, you can make sure you're subscribed and like and comment and share this video with someone who needs it. That's all great. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore everywhere. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.